Hey, it's me, Chris. How's it going? Welcome to Friday's live stream. Today, I am switching things up. Going to be doing one of those crazy illustrated jumbles that I do, where I just fill a page with a lot of stuff. I'm going to take suggestions from you all. This could go poorly. Sometimes I feel like I'm just not good at drawing. So, you know, leave suggestions in the chat for things you would like me to draw, and I'll see how many things I can get into this jumble. Um, well, I don't know. Well, I think it's gonna be fun. I've done this before, and it was fun. Sometimes, we'll see. There's already a bunch of stuff in the suggested so far. The first thing that I see on the list already is a bottle of hot honey. Is that just what I think it is? Is that just the uh, delicious thing you put on things? But I see a skull and a hat, a T-bone steak guy, an angry scorpion. These are things that I like to draw. I probably should have come up with a theme. For example, in a recent video, I asked for suggestions for the dumbest things to include in a video, and you all delivered. Which there's a print for, which I'm going to show you about in a second, because there's a obligatory sale going on. I don't know if you know, but we're having a holiday, that is a sale. That's what holidays have become now. They're just sales. So we have a sale, and it is, the promo code is obligatory sale, where you can get 20% off of anything in my shop. And there's a lot of stuff there. Let me tell you about some of it real quick. We've got this new print, which is the jumble I was telling you about that I made in the video, where I asked for the dumbest ideas to put in a drawing. And, this is what we came up with together. This is what we made. So those are available in my shop. They're 4-color Riso prints in an edition of 50, and, you can you can, you can get one of those if you want. Let's, come over here. We also have this new shirt that was, highly requested. Um, these ones are actually, these ones aren't screen printed, but they are a high-end print on demand, and they are on Comfort Colors. So, I, got a sample, tested them out, and I was very surprised by how good the quality was. So, but I'm dabbling in having a few things that are print on demand. This is the first test. So far, it's been good. We'll see. This would allow me to add more shirts and stuff like that to the shop quickly. So if you want, you can grab one of those. Also, we do have my limited edition silkscreen hoodies in 2 colors. There, I'm looking over there at the inventory, because those were screen printed by Mammoth Print Shop, and yeah, there's some sizes are running out, but a couple sizes are gone. But there's still some left. You could get one with the promo code obligatory sale, 20% off. And then also, there's still some of this care about other people metal shirt. So you could grab one of those. Or I have classes on my website now that used to just be on Skillshare, but some people didn't want to sign up for Skillshare, and I understand that. So you could get them on my site if you want. All right. Let's couple quick other thing. Oh boy, we got to pull all this stuff off the screen. Get out of my face. Um, Quick shout out to my amazing patrons. You could join our Patreon, and you get access to other stuff. Well, there's a bunch of different tiers. One of the tiers is a monthly sticker club and hangout. And this right here, this little hot dog on a riding a wiener dog, is the newest sticker coming to the sticker club in the mail. So if you're in the PS Sticker Club, that's coming to you soon. I feel like this should be a shirt. Should this little guy be on a shirt? Let me know in the chat if you think you would want to wear a shirt with a hot dog riding a wiener dog. Did you ever think about that? Could be a shirt. Um. All right. I'm just delaying drawing. I wonder if there's going to be any angry people in the chat here because my video on Tuesday made a lot of people mad because I did one of those videos where I talk about reasons why I like fresco, and people get very upset about it. So I got called a turd twice. A turd. Rude. Okay. I think that's everything. Let's start drawing. Let me switch to my iPad. Let me don't forget to subscribe and ring bells and thumbs and you know, do the stuff. Smash the likes. Let me put on some music and we're gonna start with what am I gonna start with? I'm gonna start with the T-bone steak guy. I don't know why, but I just am. So we're just gonna kind of sketch these things out quickly, and then I'll try to like tighten them up, but not noodle too hard. So I think a T-bone steak is like this shape, and there's definitely the like outside edge, and then there's obviously the T, which makes it a T-bone. Maybe that could be like a nose. We could have like eyes like this, and then he's like, "Hey, look at me, I'm a T-bone steak." And maybe he is that a weird angle? Let's rotate it. Maybe he's running. He's like, "Oh, run away." This is a runaway T-bone steak. I feel like that angle could be. You know what I think? These, all right, we need to not be this particular, but I just felt like he didn't have the forward momentum that I was hoping for. I think maybe it's this arm needs to be up higher. Maybe this leg is like that. All right, let's do, we got to do a little bit tighter. I can't have the whole thing be scribble, so we're going to do that. Let's hold this in. I'm going to try to do this at a level of okay, but not the tightest thing in the world, so that we can do more stuff. Also, feel free to ask any questions you want. Someone on Patreon, I was like, "Hey, should I do a jumble this week instead of names?" And there was a lot of support for the jumble, but also I think it was Patrick Putman who was like, "You should do it as a Q&A too." And they're all supposed to be Q&As. Like, you can ask me anything you want during these streams, and I'm happy to answer. So, you know, feel free to always ask whatever you want. Ed Sandwich said, "So this should be the smartest things as opposed to the Dumble, which was the dumbest things." You know, we already have a T-bone steak running, so that ship may have sailed. But, you know, he could be smart. That could be a smart T-bone steak. I feel like he should have, you know, when you're running real fast and you got to get your fingers aerodynamic. All right, we got our T-bone steak guy. Oh, you know what? He needs a little bit of just a little bit of girth, because otherwise, you know, it looks too flat. Let's just fix this foot situation now. Whoops. Okay, we can leave him there for now. Let's switch back to sketchy. Aaliyah drew this. You said, "Yo, dude, you drew my name last stream and I genuinely love it. Thank you so much." Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Moonlight Lighter, you said the double dog dare you shirt. I love that. That's very funny. I love the name. That makes me want to do it even more because a little name like that is all it takes for me to be satisfied. So the next thing on the list is a skull and a hat. Let me know what kind of hat it should be, and I'll start working on the skull. So I like to try to fit stuff together, so I'm just gonna maybe... I'll just... Where do I put this? I'll put the skull like here. So it's like... Do we... What kind of hat? I don't know what kind of hat. I've drawn so many skulls, and I think... Like, I always struggle. I always feel like, I hate this, how this skull looks. And I think it's because like, I just put infinite pressure on skulls, because I've always wanted to make them so cool, and it makes it impossible for me to draw them. I even did that a font that's just all skulls. It's useless, but I just made it so that anything you typed was a different skull. I even have a skull pack, so I've drawn, even just for that, it was like well over 100. And that's not even scratching the surface of skulls that I've drawn. Anyone tell me what kind of hat? A swim cap, a newspaper boy hat, a trucker hat, or a winter hat with fuzzy ear flaps? 10-gallon hat. Or a 6-panel hat. Okay. A cap with a propeller. These are all good ideas. Maybe let's move the skull and see if there's like a... Maybe we can use the negative space to determine what the hat could be. So like maybe we could fit it to this space. So maybe it's like a cowboy-ish hat. Like that's a 10-gallon hat, right? Is that how you draw it? That's the worst. I hate that. But it kind of goes with the steak, actually. So maybe we just need to draw it a little bit better. I'm going to keep blaming you on things by saying we need to draw it better. All right, let's stop noodling and just make this. Sometimes when you have a bad drawing and you just like commit to what it looks like and then just draw it with like nice lines, it you know, could be fine. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Like I'm gonna ignore the fact that this hat is weird, probably not very good, but I'm just gonna like draw the lines like I'm confident in what I drew. And that's all it really takes. You just gotta believe that it's supposed to look like that. Like that doesn't even make sense, that line up there. Doesn't make sense. But I'm believing it makes sense, so it's going to. Keith Holly, you said, any idea when you might do portfolio reviews again? I just launched your website. Oh, I forgot about that. Kirk and I did that. Let me ask Kirk if he wants to do it again. We need to come up with a structure because last time we had maybe too many and it took really long, and then Kirk had to go because he had a meeting, and then I didn't want people to be left out, so I was like trying to talk about all the ones that we had. But the short answer is yeah, we should do it again. I will ask Kirk. I'm sure he would be up for it. Oops. Okay. Oops. Deleted that. Let's see. We got two things in a jumble, and they're fitting together so far. That's pretty good. An angry scorpion. trying to remember does a scorpion just have like a point on the end? I think it does. Turpus, you said, what do you think about the Affinity graphic suite? I don't have much experience. It's hard for me to like just, I don't know. I'm not like a real software like enthusiast. Basically, what I mean is like I use what works for me, and I get annoyed when I don't know how to do something, and I kind of like I'm not lacking anything in my workflow, so I don't like spend too much time using other stuff unless there's like a real, like I need to figure out how to do something, and I don't need to figure out how to do anything right now. I don't know if I answered that. I think I was not happy with the scorpion. I don't like how this looks. I want to try to figure out a more, like how I could, an interesting perspective. Like maybe I need to also remember to like draw what I think a scorpion is and not try to be particular. Because it's like my interpretation. I hate that too. All right, let's break it down. Let's break it down. So the things that are important are the tail thing, and it's like this, and then he's like got claw. I don't know what this face is, but and then he's like putting this one out like he's gonna chomp someone. There we go. I don't know if they have lots of legs, but I think they do. This is like a sword thing. Okay, that's what we're going with. I put it on the other layer. I didn't want to do that. Let's cut and paste, and let's move it. Hey, this kind of work. We have a theme because of the scorpion and like the cowboy and the steak. How'd this happen? So I like to use the negative space from the other objects to like define what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna kind of make this is their stabby thing. I don't know what it's called. This is its angry face. You may be thinking, hey, that's not what a scorpion's face looks like, and I say, I don't care. That's ridiculous. It looks kind of weird, but I think just when we put the claws in, it'll be okay. Pull it all together. Dick Kirkland, he said, Chris, do you think Fresco will last or be supported for Adobe for a while? Their history with drawing apps seem to be bleak or short support. Yes, and two multiple points on that. One is their history with drawing apps for the iPad seems like they had two and they got rid of them, but what happened was there was Adobe Sketch and Adobe Draw. Sketch was raster based and Draw was vector based, so they combined them to make Fresco. So technically they got rid of Sketch and Draw, but they made a new app for those. Fresco has a very enthusiastic and really just amazing team of wonderful people working on it and doing a lot of updates. There's a lot of support for Fresco, and this year being the 5th anniversary, was like Adobe. They finally got Adobe to like really pay attention to Fresco, and they've been promoting it more. They never really promoted it in the past. So even though they made it free, they are pushing it more than they did in the past. So I think people assume because it's free now, they might just be getting rid of it. But they were just sort of simplifying things. Fresco was never like a big moneymaker for them, because it's always been mostly free, but if you wanted to import your own brushes, you had to like pay extra, and it was sort of just like a technicality. And even then it was only $10 a year. So, that's the situation. It's important to remember though, that like Adobe is a huge corporation, and the different apps are like very different people and like different worlds that are sort of like disconnected. Like the Fresco team is a very small team, and like when you talk to them, you feel like you're talking to like the small business, because it's all very separate from like the Adobe as a whole. And like if there's like things you want, like features, I know like a lot of people, including myself, would like SVG export. There's like that option to request a feature, and then they like actually read that stuff. So whenever there's something like that, you should absolutely always do that, because it's not like it's just going to like Adobe in general. Like it's going to the Fresco team, which is a small group of people. Was there supposed to be something particular about... Oh, angry. He's angry. We did it. Okay, cool. All right, we've got 3 things on here, and I don't hate any of them that much. This arm is a little wonky. I don't... You know what? I can't. I need to just fix it a little bit. It just looks like a little stubby arm. I think I just want to put a little bend in it, and that'll make it look less weird. Okay. Jenna, you said, what's your biggest goal this summer with your channel? You know, I've been winging it this whole time with my channel. I don't have any real goals except the one that I've had since I kind of learned how things work, and that's to be more mindful about the like title and thumbnail ahead of time, because it sounds stupid, but like you could spend all this time making a video, and if you don't have like a thumbnail or a title that will make people interested, no one's going to watch the video. So it's one of those things where I would just like in the past just like be like, oh, I'm gonna do this video, and then I restart recording it, and then I'm like, the night before I'm supposed to go, oh crap, what am I gonna call this? What am I gonna do for a thumbnail? And then the video will tank because I'm stupid. Okay. Pork and beans. What does that even mean? Skateboarding calico cat. Let's do that. All right, so maybe it's like doing a kickflip or something. So maybe like a cat body, and it's like, it's got 4 legs though, so maybe it's like these legs are doing something like that. I don't know what they keeping it loose at the moment because we're trying to figure out what it's gonna look like. So it's like the skateboard is sideways like this because it's doing a kickflip. Probably have to have the Maybe if we just rotate it a bit more, it'll look more dynamic. The calico bit, that's a lot of things. Like the detail, we'll see. Might have to address that later when I color it, because I'll try to do a finalized version of this, or if I have to tighten anything up and like add some color, and we'll see if I like it enough. I guess I'll share it, but you know. Okay, got the skateboard, and let's I don't know what these paws are doing, but we're just going with it. Kyle Anderson, you said any tricks to get the arms, legs, angles in the proper position for a running character? You know, not necessarily. It's tricky. I try to just, for me, it's more of like trying to get like the trajectory or the angle and like trying to exaggerate it a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I wing it a lot of the time. Also just kind of draw it over and over again until it feels right. I guess cats don't usually have long tongues like this, but it's exaggerated because he is really kind of pushing hard, concentrating on this kickflip. I was gonna do these normal cat eyes, but I feel like we need to use the other ones to make sure he's spotting the board for his landing. I don't know why I'm saying his. This could be a girl cat doing a sweet kickflip. Why is that other paw being so weird? I don't know. I'm not gonna overthink it. Just getting some like spot things because this is a calico cat. Okay. Julie Hollowicks, you said, how do you like your steak cooked? I guess I'm a medium guy. Diana Lisa, you are packing for your first solo car camping trip. That's cool. Have fun. Be careful. I'm just noticing here that there's this new iPad OS feature with this other button. Confusing me with my modifier. Need a better place for it. I'm not sure I'm crazy about it yet. Okay. Let's see. What's next? We got lots of stuff on here. Holy moly. Chickenzilla. So it's like a chicken, but Godzilla. I'm into it. Let's do it. All right, how do we... So if it's like... chicken... Maybe it's got like a normal chicken beak, but it's like also got teeth or something. And it's got like chickeny legs, but they're a bit beefier. I feel like it should be like gonna stomp. Does Godzilla breathe fire? I can't remember. Looks like a dodo bird or something, but who knows what a Chickenzilla looks like. I think it gets to have a tail. And it gets like nostrils for some reason and spikes. He's got atomic breath. He does breathe fire. Okay, cool. We're gonna go with that. Let's see where we can put him. I guess well, I was gonna say it could be almost facing off with the with that scorpion, even though scorpions are tiny. Skippy, you said, do you go to art museums? Do you have a favorite? You know, I haven't been in a long time. Just because of, you know, time and having a kid now. But do I have a favorite? Not necessarily at the moment. Let me try to think. I think it more depends on like the show. I remember seeing a lot of good stuff at the ICA in Boston when I lived there. There's the Eric Carle Children's Book Museum near me, which pretty near me, not that near, but it has had some cool stuff in the past. I'll see if I remember any others. DID Projects, you said, could you recommend a print-on-demand site that does t-shirts with front and back, even sleeves too, for printing? Use Redbubble. So when I do print on demand, I use Printify, but Printify isn't like the place that does the printing. How it works is they have like a bunch of different vendors for different products, and they're all, what's great is they're all like have ratings by people who use them, so you can like go and kind of pick out a product you want and see which is rated the best and read all the reviews, and then they sort of deliver. They handle the production when you choose the company, and there's usually lots of options for things, so that's why I like them. Miss Chuck Almighty, you said, just getting to tune in. Thanks for drawing my name a couple weeks ago. You felt immortal since. That's awesome. So glad that you liked it. All right, we gotta get moving on this Chickenzilla. Taking too much time. Those are little feathers. Yes. That's Chickenzilla. I don't know what to tell you. I tell you, this hand, we can't let this slip. Sorry. The hand's bad. That's probably something that's going to get touched up when I go back in before I add color. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. A capybara with boxing gloves. That's like that weird giant rodent thing. I can't remember enough what they look like. I'm gonna be honest. I hate rodents. I have a big fear of rodents, and those things are the things of nightmares. I am not gonna draw mayonnaise, Skippy. Very rude. A sloth and a cowboy hat. And we have another thing. What? I can't remember what sloths look like. I mean, I do, sort of. But I don't. Pizza playing golf, banana with gun. There's so many things on here. I'm overwhelmed. All right. Matt put a capybara in the chat. Can you also put a sloth in the chat? Because it says someone's kid suggested it, and I would, want to honor your child. Okay, so the capybara's got boxing gloves on. I guess that's better because it keeps his rat hands out of my face when I have to box it. Looks like a hippo. I guess that's okay. We'll just put fur on it and it'll be fine. Look at this stupid idiot. Wait a second. What are these? How do I draw this? Okay, I guess that's right. Then this one would be... No, thumbs are on the inside. Dick Kirkland, you said you're going to Max this year. A session with you would be great. Maybe. I feel like I just went to Max. When was that? That was in the fall. I can't believe it's already time to like think about it again, but maybe. The last one was my first Adobe Max, and I feel like it just happened, but I guess it was a little bit ago. All right, that's I'm okay with that character. I don't really have a place for him yet, so I'm gonna keep him on his own layer. Then we can figure out where to stick him after. Oh, Max, I'm told by Matt, who's just the greatest at the answering all my questions, is October 28th. So that sounds like next year. However, I guess that's closer than it seems. So, yeah, maybe. Who knows? If they're gonna pay for me to come out, I will come out. I really wish I could go to the Icon Illustration Conference. I missed the last one, and I have to miss this one too because it just happens to be the 1 week a year that I teach. I teach in a low residency illustration MFA, Masters of Fine Arts program. And because it's low residency, it's only on campus for 2 weeks in the summer, then they meet in different cities during the year. But my class is just 1 week in July, and it's the week of Icon, so can't go to that. All right, there's a sloth that I was gonna draw, and there was something about the sloth. I gotta find it. It had cowboy hat. Okay. All right, so sloths have this like short, wide face where it's like, I'm a sloth. And they've got this nose and then like a dumb smile in the middle. And this is like a color. It's like darker. And then there. Okay. Yep, that's what a sloth looks like. And then a cowboy hat. Let's see if we can do it for a second time since we messed up the last one. Okay, so that. And then this is the body, and then the arms are just long with those like claws. So let's see if we can find a place to put him and then before we tighten it up. Maybe we can use his arms to fill some weird negative space. Samuel Baker, any tips for art graduates trying to get back into making? Yeah. Make some stuff about things that you like or things that you're just have fun and don't worry about trying to make like the perfect thing. Just do something that you'll have fun doing and you'll actually want to do it, and it'll be great. Okay, so we forgot about this. I also need something to like hold myself accountable, so I like challenges, so that's how I ended up doing a daily drawing challenge for almost 2 decades. But I need a challenge to do anything in my life. I feel like maybe because it's a sloth, it should have like lower eyelids like this. They're just because it's so lazy. All right, I'm gonna go back to sketching so that I can figure out these legs. I was thinking like I could just sort of like tuck them in here. I feel like their legs are just sort of like limp noodles. Maybe he'll be hanging on something, but we don't know what it is yet. Anyone know what he can hang on? All right. Did I do that on my line work layer like a friggin' dummy? Why am I so bad at layers today? Kolana Wong, he said, who's your favorite artist? Oh? That's such a tricky one. No, I feel like there's so many great ones. How could I just choose one? That's the hardest question I've ever gotten. I haven't thought about it in a long time, actually. I feel like I just feel like so many of my friends make the coolest stuff, and I love everything they do. You know what? This shirt is one that I got, like, in 2008, so it's a very old shirt, but it's you can't see it. It's like a weird goof, Mickey skateboarding, and it's by Jesse Ledoux, who was like an art director at Sub Pop for a while, but he's an amazing artist and illustrator, and I love his work. I've always loved his work. So I'm gonna say Jesse Ledoux right now, because it could change in any moment. It's always different. Oh, there's our sloth. I'm gonna keep the capybara on his own layer for now because, you know, I don't know if that's where he's gonna stay. Jenna, you said, have you ever been on a cruise? I went on a cruise once years ago. I would probably not do it again. Hopefully yours was a good one. Dude Ranchero said, hey Chris, congrats on being invited to be a judge for the Typographic Arts STS 100. Looks interesting. Thanks. If you don't know, I'm one of the judges for the Typographic Arts. There's an award show. Today's actually the deadline, so if you do lettering or type stuff, you should enter. Going to be in Chicago in a couple weeks judging. Actually, I think it's, when is it next weekend? I might be making a big announcement right now that I can't do a live stream because I'm judging on a Friday in Chicago. Let's look at a calendar. Yeah, next Friday. There's not going to be a live stream. Sorry about that. I'm going to be judging in Chi-Town in the Windy City. All right. Roller skating bunny. You ever heard of that? I see on the list chainsaw raccoon. Well, I don't know what that means. I like it, but I don't know what it means. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the space yet for this bunny, so I can just sort of be free to experiment. So I'm thinking like crouch down, so like this is the roller skate, and then like this extended leg. And it's gonna be sort of like just really feeling it. Arms back, maybe the head is back. Ears flapping in the wind. Eyes shut. Buck teeth. All right, that's kind of it, but it's not the right. There's something off about the body. We got to figure it out. I think it's the balance. Like the body needs to be centered over that that leg. But we can figure that out. We can do that. No big deal. Let's just find a space. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll just leave it here, actually. Let's figure out this body geometry. So we got this bulbous body here, and then it's like wait, how would it be? No, it'd have to be like bent over a little bit. So leg is bent. Motor skate is down. This leg is back. So the body would have to be forward a little bit. Or it would be tipping over. I mean, we lost some of the character to it, but we're just trying to figure out logistics here. You know what? We're gonna say nobody gives a heck about physics, and let's just come back, figure this out. I can't answer questions for a second until I figure out what on earth is happening with our bunny. I think there it is. We just need to scooch it back a little bit. Okay, that'll work. Whoops. See, it starts to get tricky towards the end. There we go. It's skating with the cat. Marianne Farna, you said, thank God it's Friday and you can listen to your hyperfixation artist lot. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. That's too big. Okay. This is a chunky bunny, in case you were wondering. Okay, that's a chunky bunny. Yep, it is. Wait, this doesn't make any sense anymore. This is one of those times where you like do a sketch and you're like, yeah, it looks fine in the sketch. And then when you draw it, you're like, wait a second. That doesn't look like anything. We'll figure out the face after. Sketch is too dark. Can't concentrate. I think that was the problem. Okay. Hey train, or ha train, sorry I'm saying that wrong. You said, which brush are you using? I am using the classic anchor from my Retro Supply Co set. It's just a pretty simple brush with a little bit of pressure sensitivity, not a ton, just enough so that I can get little bit of a subtle taper, and it has like a little bit of grit to it, like a little bit of ink bleed. Just sort of just what I like. Can we put a little fluffy tail in there? I don't know if you would see it from this angle, probably not. Also, this leg should come over. Oops. Well, in that case, then you might see a little fluffy tail. Okay. All right, so let's get these wheels on here. Put the little brake on the front. Do just a few little laces there. Not a ton of detail. Just a few little motion lines because this bunny's cruising. These wheels are spinning. And we can just put like some little sweat things to use that space so it fits together better. And now let's see if we can make a face on here. Okay, that's a bunny on roller skates. That state guy, for some reason the line work, I feel like was thicker at the beginning. I didn't change brush sizes. I think I was pressing harder at the beginning and then I got a little less confident. I think that's what's happening. Tim Makes Films, you said, what's your favorite wing of an art museum? And why is it the modern wing? I didn't realize, is that a thing where they have like specific wings? What does that tell you about me not knowing things? Favorite movie genre? I just like a good comedy. Miley Cow, you said, does the pen latency get slower the more you draw objects? No, not at all. The pen latency doesn't change at all. It only depends on the smoothing and how you have it. When I am using my inking brush, I have it turned up high because it helps my shaky coffee hands in the morning to get clean lines. But when I'm using my sketching brush, that's why I keep switching back, I have the smoothing almost all the way off, and there's no latency at all because I need that direct connection. But once I sketch it out, I have it up. So it's not, maybe I don't know what latency, I guess that's just the delay. Maybe that's what it means. But anyway, that's, it doesn't change like in terms of like getting slower with more stuff, if that's what you're asking. But no, it doesn't do that. Let's see. There's so many things on this list. A lizard wizard. Let's do that. Okay, so this is my lizard, and then the wizard hat. It's like a witch hat, right? But it just has, it's gonna have like stars or something, right? Is that what makes it a wizard hat? And then This is some sort of like cloak, right? What kind of... Should I have a cloak? Definitely gonna have a wand. I don't know what the wand looks like. Some magic coming out of it right there. Maybe it's doing this with its hand and then it's like got a ball of magic fire energy that it's holding up. And then, let's see. I think it's just as like a cape. It's a cape. Maybe it's a cape with sleeves. You ever thought about that? Because it's gonna have wizard sleeves. And then this tail is just kind of coming up over here in the back. That's a lizard wizard. We don't need to overthink it. That's a lizard wizard. I don't know why it had to get so complicated. What am I talking about? Patrick Putman, you said, is capture the only way to make custom shapes in fresco? I finally learned how to use capture, but my lines are not crisp and sharp like yours are in character element. It is. Do they look? So you're saying when you bring them into capture, the lines get messy? Maybe try using are you exporting a big enough image? Whenever I'm drawing live, I'm trying to be like mindful of how zoomed in I am, because like if it's too tight, then it's like you can't really see what's happening, and I tend to do that sometimes when I'm drawing, and that doesn't look very interesting to the viewer. Oops. Oh, lizard wizards have thumbs, in case you were wondering. It's part of their powers. These are just these are magic rays coming out. of the magic wand. Okay, let's yeah, this is a lizard wizard. That's what it is. He's got a couple teeth coming out. I don't know why. Okay. What are we doing here? Earwig, have you ever heard the band King Lizard and Lizard? I have. I didn't think of it while drawing this, but I have. Okay. You guys have so many ideas here. A melting panda. I do love a melting thing. Let's see if we could do it. Like maybe it would just be like a panda head that's melting. So panda, it would be like this. These little ears, and then I think we'll just get the panda vibe first, and then we can melt it. Okay. We're just gonna go right into melty zone. It's kind of sad. But maybe it's a good melt. Like maybe he's just had his face melted off at a sick show, and he's just like, I'm melting at how good this is. That's what happens when a panda melts. It's just okay. We're gonna do the chainsaw raccoon. I don't know necessarily what that means, but I feel like the sloth and a panda both have that like kind of face thing, like the dark area on the, I don't, listen, it made sense in my head, but anyway, a raccoon would make sense here. But it's like a chainsaw raccoon. Does that just mean like it's a raccoon with a chainsaw and chainsaw raccoon is his name? I think that's probably what it is. Okay, so what would that look like? That's the real question. So it's like, I imagine he's just like swinging it like off to the, he's gotta be swinging it like this, and then it's like, this is the chainsaw part. And then he's like looking at us and he's like, ah, my trash, panda. Tail, and this is going. I feel like it needs to be, the chainsaw needs to be bigger. I don't necessarily know if I know what a chainsaw looks like. I guess I can just make it up. Now there's like a part like this, and then this, and then it's just like shh. There's probably like things like that. I don't know how he is holding on to it. There's got to be some sort of handle. I think that's what it looks like. I think that's, I'm gonna have to figure out the hand situation and the chainsaw, but I'm feeling remotely confident. We'll leave in some weird space, but maybe we can find something to put in there. Let's just get into it. Okay, so there's the arms coming up. It's gonna be holding on to something. I'm just gonna pretend there's some sort of like handle thing like this. So there needs to be some sort of handle. I feel like it needs like a bulged out section over here because there's something. It's a machine. There's pieces to it. This goes like this. There's like a grill on that, and then there's a button over here. There's two buttons actually. I don't know if you know. There's generally two buttons. There's something that the other paw is holding on to over there in case. Generally, if you know a lot about chainsaws like I do, there's things, and then this right here is like that's the starter thing that it's just loose. I mean, it's okay. It's sort of chainsaw-ish. I believe it. I think some like just motion lines like this make it look dangerous. Earwig. Oh, I already answered that question. Alexander, you said, has your Apple Pencil ever run out of battery on these longer live streams? No. Generally, it lasts for many hours. It's trying to think. It'd probably take at least a few hours. Though even when I did that like all day live stream, it wasn't all on the iPad, but a lot of it was. I never had battery issues. We need to he needed to be a little bit more crazy because he's a villain named Raccoon Chainsaw. He's also got a little bit of foaming at the mouth because he's definitely has rabies. Yep, that is Chainsaw Raccoon, if I've ever seen one. Need something to fit in that space now, though. He thought you said you should do a collab with Mark Kistler. I might know who that is. I don't know if I know who that is. I'm bad at names and remembering them. Chainsaws should be smoking to fill the negative space. That would work. I didn't think about that. Okay. A snake and a hot air balloon. That's ridiculous. A zombie worm. That's the perfect thing to put in this space. I'm gonna draw my zombie worm without a sketch. And maybe regarding it? No, it'll be fine. Those are some action lines from the running. It needs some like chunks removed. That's zombie worm face. That's a zombie worm. All right, I gotta go soon, but maybe we'll put another thing in here. An astronaut snake. I like an astronaut snake because we can use it in some difficult spaces. Do we have any difficult spaces? This space helmet looks like. He's not mad. He's kind of happy because he's like an astronaut and he's in outer space. So we're keeping it pretty simple there. Just a pattern on him. And, you know, he's out of his ship right now. So we're going to put some like stars around him because he's in outer space. And it kind of works well with the wizard above. I was trying to draw a moon there, but the spacing was odd. Okay. The moon is like unsure. It's like, wait. Is there a snake in a space helmet? Because that's not something I like to see. That's what the moon says. Mike and Dawn, you said no arms. You're talking about the snake? Snakes don't have arms. That would be terrifying. That would be a lizard. It is 12 o'clock. I've been doing this for an hour and a half. I gotta leave because I gotta do some work. This has been fun. I will keep your suggestions in this list and finish this up, and I will share it in a community post. So check back soon. New video on Tuesday. Don't miss it. I am reviewing this tour box thing that's actually been surprisingly useful in like with the iPad and on my computer for video editing, for Fresco, for Photoshop, for everything. I like it a lot. Check that out on Tuesday. I will see you all real soon. Thank you. This was fun. We'll do it again soon. Okay, bye.